This is a really simple one, but let's see how raw you want to get, babe. Sexting while he's at work? ? That's obviously a big yes, right? Definitely. Ideas. She says ideas.
Ooh.
Now, here's why I wanted to ask this question, because I want you to answer based off what you do, what you send, what you talk about, and then I'm going to tell you what I think about it and what turns me on and what I love.
Yeah. So I get dressed up in lingerie most of the time. Sometimes they're full nude because I like full nude. And I trust my partner. Like, because the other thing is, like, I trust sending you nude photos of me. And I make them very sexy. I get dressed up. Yep, I wear lingerie and whatever that may be, and I take specific angles, knowing what body parts my husband likes, and I send them. And I spend a lot of time expressing what I want to do to him.
Like what?
Or
what you want me to do to you.
Usually about deep throating your dick, because that's your jam.
Yeah.
And I enjoy doing that. So that's something that I know turns your light bulb on in your brain. And then I tell you what I want you to do to me. And we can just
explicit. You're like explicit about it.
Yeah.
Dude, the other night, I'm just going to use date night as an example, right? You sent me some pictures, and they were really risque, awesome, amazing, fucking rad pictures. But you were like, dude, what did you say exactly? Not role play, but you're like, tonight.
I want to. I wanted you to
it.
Take your dirty little slut out on a date.
Yeah, and it was like, ha ha ha, funny. But
For
like
real.
in my mind, I went like full blown, like rowdy, everything I could think of. And then you're like, I literally want you to shove your dick down my throat.
Yep.
And this might be funny for some people to listen to, but let's be really serious for a second. There isn't a dude fucking listening to this that doesn't want to get a text message from his woman during the day. Bryce, would you like to get a text message from your wife in the middle of the day saying, when you come home today, I want you to shove your dick down my throat? Yes. He said yes, ladies and gentlemen.
Of course.
And I would be willing to bet that 100 out of 100 men would say yes. Now, ladies, that's on you to have the audacity, the love, the connection, the balls, whatever you want to call it, lady balls, to be able to put those things out there. But when you sent me that text, in my mind, I was like, this date night, we are going to get rowdy as fuck, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun because I knew where your mind was. I knew where my mind was. And it was really, we had some amazing fucking sex.
That's why I love sexting, because it sets the tone for what's to come.
Right.
But like really sets the tone. It's like you're halfway through
No
foreplay
pun intended.
before you even get to dinner. So that's why sexting is like my
I love
favorite.
Sexting. I think sexting too, from a vulnerability standpoint, is really good. What I mean by that is, for me, it's a lot easier to text something. Well, sometimes it's easier for me to text something than it is to say it. Just my own ego, my own pride, my own scarcity, whatever. Like, I'm not very loud in the bedroom. You are. Ask any of our friends that have ever traveled with us, and they'll tell you, like, hey.
Not sorry.
My bad. We were in Vegas not too long ago, and it was with a couple of buddies. We were flying to Texas, and one of our buddies was in the room next door, and I forget how it came up the next day, but apparently we kept him up all night long.
I think you just asked him.
I was like, yo, did you guys hear us last night? He's like, bro, I fucking heard you last night. Anyways.
I truly do try to be quiet. It's just not my jam.
Yeah, but I say that because, like, sometimes there's a lot, and this is maybe a suggestion for you guys that might be struggling, right? If you're struggling in your sex life, if you're disconnected, if it's hard for you guys to connect and communicate, start there. Because the truth is, like, I don't know any men that wouldn't want to get an explicit picture, a naked picture from their wife, and talking about shoving their freaking dick down their throat, or fucking me like on the side of the bed, or bending me over the couch. I don't know any men that would be like, you know what, I don't really like that. That's not a turn on to me. So my suggestion to all y'all, I mean, if we want to give people some advice, start there. If you have a hard time talking about what you want, start with texting, because it's something that's a lot easier, in my opinion, to do than it is to have some of these conversations maybe face to face. Would you agree, dear?
Yep. I want to add too, if you want.
I hope my mom doesn't listen to this.
I was just going to say, this is not for Joan.
Mom.
The whole
I'm a
so
grown
this
man.
is like kind of off topic, but not. But I don't want to forget to share this with people. When I was in my early 20s, I had a friend, and her boyfriend used to role play with wigs.
Yep.
And this was a cool concept because they were engaged, and they had kids and stuff. So they had the grind of like daily life, and he was this successful doctor, and just great people. Well, she had multiple colors of wigs, and they were all different aliases. So this was their game, is he would choose who he wanted to go out with or who he wanted to fuck that night. And they had names, and she had like personalities and styles of sex per alias.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's absolutely brilliant. I love it so much. So to him, he was like, had this plethora of women that he fucked, but it was just his fiance. But they loved it. They just had the best time with it. And I always thought, it was just something I kept. I mean, I was 21 when these people were in my life, and years later, I'm like, I think that's brilliant.
After the other night, you have a nickname now, or I should say, you have a new persona.
So now I have 3.
I like it.
I do too.
I like it.